Melodic grooves and textured harmonies is the heartbeat of the soul. Lyrically, emotionally, and powerful is what we love. It's Indie Soul Saturday, only on Source Radio Network.
Good afternoon, Source Nation. I am your host, Destine Hicks, and I want to welcome you all to Indie Soul Saturdays. Today I have two amazing guests in the studio that will be discussing their journeys, music, and upcoming projects. But before I go any further, let me thank our sponsors who have made this show possible. They are Sulina Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper 2 Film Productions, Revolution Mills, and Renovations. Source Nation, as I stated earlier, I have two amazing indie artists in the studio with me today. In the first hour, I will have Grammy-nominated songwriter and producer Alvin Garrett. And in the second hour, I will have joining me reggae artist Walker T. So if you are on here now, I ask that you call in and press 6. Call in at 619-924-0933. Again, that's 619-924-0933. And press the option 1 if you have any questions or would like to make a comment. Source Nation, we're going to take a quick break. And after the break, I will have joining me in the studio, Alvin Garrett. Stay tuned.
Source Nation, you're listening to Indie Soul Saturday.
Source Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We're giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one has seen. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening to Indie Soul Saturday.
Source Nation, welcome back to Indie Soul Saturdays with me, your host, Destine Hicks. As I stated before the break, my guest, Alvin Garrett himself. So while he is being mic'd, let me tell you a little bit about him. Garrett's humble journey took flight in Birmingham, Alabama, as a co-founder of a band, Just a Few Cats, along with the American Idol winner, Ruben Studdard. Garrett then evolved into an award-winning songwriter, producer, and solo recording artist. Because of the inspiring soul-filled messages layered within his songs, many have dubbed Alvin Garrett the R&B Reverend. Reminiscent of the icon Al Green and Sam Cooke, Garrett's signature sound and inspiring penmanship is powerfully displayed in his debut single, By Myself and Miss Perfection. Shows his versatility and artistic durability. I do believe Alvin is all mic'd and is ready to go. Alvin, if you're here, welcome. How are you?
I am wonderful, wonderful. Where did you get all those wonderful things to say about me? Did you make that up?
No. A little birdie told me a little bit about you.
Good. How you doing, Destiny?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. So glad to be on with you and all of your listeners.
Oh, it's great to have you here with us. We'd like to thank you for being here in the studio. If you would please let Source Nation know who you are, and after all that, we can go into some of your music.
Well, I guess on top of what you just said, I am a young man that is excited to be on the rise in this music industry, making good music and learning that people are actually listening. And that's one of the wonderful things about making music is you want it to be heard. And so it's so glad to have opportunities like this to share with people and to find out that people everywhere have been listening and that your hard work is paying off. And so I'm excited about now and the future for my musical career and all the things that I'm doing. So
that's wonderful. And I know that everything is going to pan out and keep on panning out, and everything is going to continue to work out for you for all the great things that you have done so far in this time span. If you don't mind me asking, what inspired your song, Miss Perfection?
That song is really actually sort of a onus to my relationship with my old lady. You think about how life happens. You have your kids, you gain a little weight, and sometimes as a female, you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't necessarily like what you see, right? But then you got a man that actually loves you, and if a man loves you the right way, unconditionally, we really don't care about those changes that you don't like so much. And as the song says, if you could see what I see, if you could look at yourself through my eyes, then you'll see why I call you Miss Perfection. Because perfection is not just about what you look like. It's about who you are on the inside, what your personality is about, how hard you work, keep the family together, So you already sexy. You don't have to change anything to match or meet the expectations that you see on TV or on the internet. Be the great version of yourself. And so the song is sort of me saying, I'm going to treat you like you're perfect. I'm going to love you like you're perfect. I just need you to work it. You know what I'm saying? Let's hit this dance floor. The dance floor could be the living room. Put the kids to bed and just dance because we love each other. You know what I'm saying? And so it's an upbeat record that's saying, I've been watching you, and I see that you don't quite realize how beautiful you are. And there's a lot of women going through that out there who are absolutely gorgeous people, gorgeous women who, because of how they measure beauty or how they measure perfection, they don't see that. So that's what I want the ladies to get from this song is that you're already perfect. Just work what you got. And I've lived that, so I understand how it's not just easy as talking about it. So that's why I made this soundtrack to say, hey, whenever you start doubting yourself, turn this record on and start dancing. Just start dancing and say, you're already perfect. Let me see you work it. And know that it's coming from a man who has experienced what that's like. You know what I'm saying? From my perspective. So it is an intimate song for me. It's not just, I just decided to write a record. I know what it's like for those walls to go up when you're trying to love somebody a certain way, and because of how they feel about themselves, they won't let you in. You see what I'm saying? And so that's a journey.
Mhm.
And so this is just something that's inspired from a personal journey.
Yeah, and I can see how that could sometimes, tie into, like you said, everyday life, and sometimes you don't feel, quote unquote, enough. And so this song here that you created is something that keeps the women knowing that you are enough, and you have to know that yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Just work it, baby. Just work it.
Just work it. Just work it.
That's right.
I have another question for you. How did you get started with writing music and writing music for others, and how did you begin?
Well, I've been in music all my life. I started off playing bass guitar in my dad's church, but I've always loved writing. I've loved poetry, literature. So I loved to read growing up, and I would write poems and things like that. So being involved in just, poetic writing and music as I got older, I started, wanting to merge that together, you know what I mean? And just had the opportunity to meet some great songwriters who inspired me to just kind of start doing it. And it was tough at first because I wrote some pretty bad songs, but just learning the elements of, how to get your thoughts across, because I always feel like I have so much to say. But to narrow down a lifetime's worth of experience into a 3-minute song with only half of that song to say what you need to say, and people feel and capture your life story in a few verses and a few bars, it's an art to it. And so I love that, being able to say a few lines and people hear that and say, "Oh wow, I get it. I feel when you said this," and it makes them think. So it took a long time writing songs and producing local artists in my city, just working out the kinks and networking, meeting other producers, interning with great producers just to learn. Just say, "Hey, teach me about melody choice." So I tell, any aspiring artist or writer, you cannot put a price on education. And what this business is all about in songwriting, you can't necessarily learn it at a school. Sometimes you have to get around somebody and build a relationship with somebody who can teach you the elements of writing a great song. And don't, undervalue that. It's so priceless, being around somebody who can coach you and just give you information. So I'm one of those people who love learning, and it's really helped empower me to continue to grow and be great at what I do.
That's excellent. That's excellent. About how old do you think you were when you wrote your first song?
I can't remember how old I was, but I was definitely young enough for it to be in crayon. It was definitely in crayon, but it might have been more of a poem, but it definitely was in crayon, But I will say the first song that I recall writing that was an actual well-constructed song might have been around the year 2000. It was a song called "Loving You Is What I'll Do," and where I put melody, really structured a great song. It was probably in 2000 when I really started falling in love with writing songs.
And throughout your time of writing music and developing yourself and all of that, did you ever think that you would be where you are today with your writing and your music skills and all the great characteristics that you hold? Did you ever think, wow, like, I can't believe I'm here now?
You know what? I absolutely did. Like, I actually, because of my belief system, like I have a strong belief in faith and you creating your own future. It's very little that catches me by surprise, shall I say. Now, there are things that happen that I can't predict, like a Grammy nomination. You can't predict that. But success and seeing myself as great, seeing myself as a great songwriter, a great entertainment company, these are things I've visualized for years, and they help shape my decisions on a daily basis. So it's very little that catches me by surprise when I live my life intentionally. You see what I mean? So there are certain things that like, wow, that wasn't me. Like, that was, divine placement. Like, I'm just walking, doing my thing, and I met this person, and this person And you're like, whoa, I couldn't have planned that. But there is a responsibility and an accountability for my life to say, well, I'm going to craft my day. I'm going to craft my future, and I'm going to make decisions that are befitting of what I see in my mind, so I don't leave my life up to chance. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, there is I'm not taking off guard because I actually worked for it, and I saw it in my mind and said, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to be a songwriter. So then I started making the decisions that led me on that path. And that's what I like to encourage people to do. Don't leave your life and your future up to chance. Visualize it and go out and make it happen. You have the power to do that, you know. So that's my testimony, and hopefully I encourage other people to do that.
Yeah, and that's such a powerful message that you have for the people. And, you know, I look at it like that also, that, you know, I'm a firm believer in faith also, and I believe that, you know, we do have control. You know, we have like two doors, and we get to choose which door we decide to pick. You know, do we want to put in the work that comes behind opening this door, or do we rather settle and just go through this one?
That's right.
So I think that's very powerful, what you said. And I know you already told us about, you know, what inspired Miss Perfection, but before we play that song, I'd like for you to give the listeners, you know, a little roundabout before the song plays. You know, like, what would you like them to know, especially about this song before it plays?
Well, this is my second single that I've released as a solo artist, and it's featuring the legendary band Zap. You know, if you've heard Computer Love, I Want to Be Your Man, you know, big ups to the late Roger Troutman. I had the opportunity for his brother, the other half of Zap, Lester Troutman, to be featured on the drums, and another one of the band members to do the talk box in honor of Roger Troutman. So that is just an amazing thing to be able to say that you have Zap on your song. So in addition to that, this song is an encouraging message for you to get up and dance to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm already perfect. All I got to do is work it, because Mr. Garrett said so. So that's your cue. Play that record.
Source Nation, here you have it. Miss Perfection featured Zap by yours truly, Alvin Garrett.
Already perfect, let me see you working. Already perfect, let me see you working. Already perfect, let me see you working. I've been watching you standing in the corner. I try, but it's impossible to ignore ya. Seems like you're kinda shy, or maybe you don't know what you got. From your head to toe, baby, you're flawless. I thank the Lord for giving you all this. I don't think you recognize it, but girl, you're looking hot. How you smile when I'm rubbing on your shoulder. Go ahead and lose yourself, girl. This could be one of those nights. Hold my hand like you already know me. Girl, just relax, let's take it to the floor, please. Baby, don't go second guessing the moment, just feel so right. What I say, what do you see? Why I call you Miss Perfection.
Nation, if you haven't already heard, we have the Grammy-nominated songwriter and producer, Alvin Garrett, and he's sharing his journey in the music industry and how he knew that he was called to be where he is today and how he's going to inspire you all on today. And we just played one of his top hits, Miss Perfection, with the legendary band Zap. Now we're going to get him to give us a snippet of a bio of why he wrote By Myself featuring Ruben Studdard. Like, what inspired you at that moment when you began writing By Myself? What were you feeling? What emotions were you going through? Anything you like the listeners to kind of put themselves in the mindset of when they listen to this song after you introduce it? Whatever you have on your heart to say to them.
Absolutely. The song By Myself is really, shall I call it, my life manifesto, and just my personal philosophy on life. You know, if you're a dreamer or a visionary or somebody that really, really wants to do something with their life, what you find out is that not everybody around you shares that same sentiment or that same vision or your same passion for what you love. And, you know, we all believe in togetherness, and so you always try to bring somebody in. You know how it is. It could be family, friends, trying to get them to buy into what you're seeing. And sometimes it just doesn't work. You know, you're trying to make things happen and you're holding on to relationships, and sometimes you just can't move fast enough or you just can't move at all, maybe not because of somebody hating on you, but because you're holding on to somebody you actually care about, you know, that doesn't share the same vision. They trying to go east and you're trying to go west, but you care about each other. You know what I'm saying? And so I've experienced that personally to where I said, in order for me to be who I envision myself being, I have to be willing to walk that road alone, or else I'm going to stand still trying to make somebody else comfortable. You know what I mean? Trying to fit into somebody else's formula for what they got going on. And sometimes you can do that passively, or sometimes you can do it knowing that you're holding yourself back. But when I wrote this song, it was around the time where, you know, the birth of the Black Lives Matter movement was sort of happening. You were seeing a lot going on in society with police brutality, and it was just a lot of emotions happening in the African-American community across the country. And one of the things that sort of fired me up a little bit, just being frank and open with you, was when there was a call to boycott, you know, like boycott Black Friday, right? And so I saw a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon because it sounded real good. But my thing was, when you're rolling with the masses like that, that still doesn't. You could be boycotting the mall or blocking somebody else's access to the mall, but you can be ordering your Black Friday deals on your cell phone, right? You could be ordering your stuff, sending it right to the house, catching them deals. So it looks like you're committed, but you might not actually be committed. So I take a little bit of offense to that. So my thing is, show up for something if don't nobody else show up. Fight for what you believe in if don't nobody else want to fight for it. That's when we know you really mean. Not saying that the people that showed up didn't believe in the cause, but my thing was, what if nobody else came? Would you still stand there? Would you still believe in what you say you believe in? So all of those emotions that I was just feeling, because you know a lot of people don't. They just coming along for the ride because it's the popular thing to do. But what are you doing in your own community? What are you showing up for that really costs you something? You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. And so all of those emotions were just flowing through me. And when I wrote this song, it just came out of my spirit. And it was beautiful how I captured it because I didn't really write it. I just sang it and recorded it. And what you hear when you hear this song is just a lifetime of emotion, a lifetime of passion. And so many people have heard this song and say, man, this is my theme song. It encouraged me to let this bad relationship go. It encouraged me to leave my job and start that business I've been sitting on for so many years. So it's just an iconic song, and I'm honored to have been the person that put it out. And I think when you play it, people, if they haven't already heard it, they will get exactly what I'm saying, and they will, too, be inspired when they listen to it.
Wow. But before we do play this song, I must know, how did you link up with Ruben Studdard?
Well, actually, Ruben Studdard and I started off in Birmingham in the same band together pre-American Idol. We started working together and being friends in 1998, actually. So we have a whole history predating American Idol that, really is made for TV, honestly, and how he and I started the band and were promoting our own shows. And, I could go on and on about how the 205 situation got started from my perspective, because I was with him. We were promoting shows, passing out tickets and selling tickets, hustling, you know what I mean? So, very few people know that side of the story, which is my side of the story. So we go way back. I was his musical director, bass player when he started touring. So I was that guy on TV with him playing the bass. People were looking at him. They probably didn't even see me or notice me, so I was always there behind the scenes on stage with him. And my journey just took me on a different path after about, 10 years or so of doing that with him. We're still great friends, but, we went on different paths as far as my career as a solo artist and a songwriter. But he heard the song because we always talk, and he's like, "Oh, man, dude, that's a hit, man. I got to have that." And I was like, "No, brother, can't let you have it." I was like, "Nah, I can't let you have this one, sir." And so he's like, "Well, at least let me get on it, man. I got to do it with you because I love it. I love it." So he was so inspired by the song, he jumped on and, sang a verse with me. And so it was really cool to have my friend on the song. So.
All righty then, Source Nation, there you have it. Next you will be hearing Alvin Garrett's single, By Myself, featuring Ruben Studdard.
I've been rejected way too many times in my life. I won't take no for an answer anymore. Seems all these walls been erected, not my dream, yeah. But I won't let that be a factor anymore. If you won't stand with me, if you won't go with me, I'm gonna go on by myself. If you won't fight with me, if you don't believe in me, I'm gonna walk on by myself. I got this burning fire deep in my soul, and I can't escape this lonely, lonely flame. My journey may go down an old rugged road, but I keep on pressing, 'cause I'm not afraid anymore. If you won't stand with me, if you won't go with me, I'm gonna go on by myself. If you won't fight with me, if you won't believe with me, still gotta go on. If you don't stand with me, if you don't go with me, I'm gonna go on by myself. If you don't fight with me, if you don't believe with me, I'm gonna walk on by myself. If you don't stand with me, if you
Source Nation, you just heard the song By Myself by Alvin Garrett featuring Ruben Studdard. What an amazing song. I love how you were like, if you don't want to go, I'll go by myself.
That's right.
Sometimes we have to be, sometimes we have to be okay with going by ourselves. A lot of times in life, we feel like we got to take a crowd with us. And so we miss the reason why we're going. Sometimes we go. Sometimes if God sends us places so that so that we can know who our true people are and who our true friends are, and the people that can go with us, that's going to support us in the ways that we need to be supported, and not going to be a hurt to us, but it's going to enhance us.
That's right.
So
That's
I
right.
love that song. I love that.
Oh
song.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And what they say, the R&B Reverend has spoken, huh?
You preached a sermon then, sir. You preached a sermon.
Preached a sermon to that thing, boy. I'm telling you.
Oh, yes,
That's
you
right.
did. Yes, you did. Okay. The next song that we're going to play today is the song that you wrote for another artist by the name of Joe. And if you don't mind telling us, what inspired the song, what were you thinking in that moment? Did you write it especially for Joe, or was it like, kind of you wrote the song and then it fit a particular person, and so you gave him the song I'd Rather Have Love?
Well, I'll give you a little background. I'll give you a little background on that. I was working with a producer, and he had some connections to Joe's team and knew that they were working on a project. And he had submitted some music to them, and they loved the music, but nobody was writing to it. So it was just good classic music, real instruments, and they loved it, but it was just sitting open, and somebody introduced me to the producer and said, listen, this boy's bad. You need to send him some music. And so he sent me some tracks, and he's like, listen, if you can write as good as they say you can, we got the inside scoop. And that's kind of how it happens sometimes. So I was like, okay, well, what kind of vibe is he on? He said, listen, they love the music. So I'm just going to send it to you. So he sent me a lot of tracks, and there's one particular one that you're going to hear. I mean, it literally took about 3 seconds. As soon as it came on, like, doom, and I immediately got struck with inspiration. I was like, oh, my goodness, it just grabbed me. And I said, man, I'm going to call you back. And I just started talking on the record. Like, I didn't write anything down on paper. And sometimes the great ones, like By Myself, I never wrote anything down. I just started singing on the mic. Same thing happened with this one. But I had done some thinking about Joe, and I was like, this guy's been around a long time. I mean, come on, how many more times can you talk about how you can take somebody's woman, or if I was your man? I said, that's cool. I'm like, he's in his 40s, his fans are growing up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So that was just my assessment. Like, let's talk to grown women like a grown man. Not that the other way ain't grown, but this was just my take on it. Like, let me say something that sounds more introspective for the ladies. And so that's when I started saying I was cool in them streets. I was cool in the club. Real talk, I wasn't thinking nothing about love, I didn't want nobody trying to partake in my stuff. I'm saying an occasional one-night stand would be enough. Oh, but I met this girl, and she ruined my philosophy. Caught me by surprise. Now my heart skips a beat when she comes around. I never thought that I'd be ready to settle down. See, I was about to find myself alone, but I found myself a love. And that caught the lady, that caught the listeners. They were like, whoa. And it worked. They loved it. They released the song, and this was one of my first major R&B placements. It went top 5. I think it might have made it up to number 4 on the Urban AC charts. And that was, a real breakthrough for me. And I ended up writing his next 3 singles. The next one being Love and Sex featuring Fantasia, the remix to that song featuring Kelly Rowland, and another single called If You Lose Her. And that was 4 of about 13 songs that I worked on with him over his next 2 albums. So this song really means a lot to me, which was sort of a culmination of all of my hard work, to get a major artist, somebody that I've always admired as a singer and as an artist, saying, oh, wow, if he was to sing my songs, I bet he could kill it. You know how it is, you're dreaming. So, I might have shed a few man tears hearing that one on the radio, no lie. Like, oh, this is for real. It's on the radio. I ain't saying, I shed a few man tears. Like all the hard work is paying off.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really proud of this particular record because it was sort of a breakthrough for me as a songwriter.
And that's so amazing how everything panned out for you with this song. So Source Nation, I'd like for you to open your ears, and I would like for you to hear the song I'd Rather Have Love, sung by Joe, but written by Alvin Garrett himself.
Do you mind if I talk to you for a minute? You see these fellas out here, they're afraid of doing that long-term thing. They figure as soon as they lock hearts with another, something better's gonna come along. Well, that's quite possibly true. But the deal is, you're gonna have to find yourself a love, or you're gonna find yourself alone. See, I was cool in them streets, y'all. Yeah, I was cool in them clubs. Real talk, I wasn't thinking nothing about love. Oh, no. See, I didn't want nobody trying to partake in my stuff. I thought in a cage, one night stand would be enough. Whoa, but one day I met this girl and she ruined my philosophy. It caught me by surprise. Now my heart skips a beat when she comes around. I never thought that I'd be ready to settle down. See, I was about to find myself alone, but I found myself alone. It's gonna take a minute to evolve, but I'd rather have a love than nothing at all. I'm ready for a love of my own, yeah. Can't stay forever. Even though I want to, I just see us together, and I'd rather have a love than have a life alone. Yeah. See, I was raised by a good one. Mama told me what a real man should be. She said, son, pick one and treat her like me. But I took all of her wisdom and I used it for selfish gain. And I know if she saw this pimpin', she'd be ashamed. But now I found this girl and I see things differently. It's like I got two left feet when she comes around. I never thought that I'd be ready to settle down. See, I was about to find myself alone, but I found myself alone. I know it's gonna take a minute to evolve. Yeah, but I'd rather have a love than I'm ready for a love of my own. Even though I want to, I just see us together, and a life alone. Well, that only chases frivolous pleasure. But on the other hand, we could build a dream with true love and affection. I know it's gonna be quite a challenge. I know it's gonna take some time, but I'm here and I'm ready to change, 'cause I know I've found myself a love, yeah. It's gonna take a minute to evolve. Oh, but I'd rather have a love. I'm ready for a love of my own. Even though I want to, I just see us together. I'd rather have a love than have a life alone. Said it's gonna take a minute to evolve, but I'd rather have a love than nothing at all. I'm ready for a love of my own.
There you had it. I'd Rather Have a Love, which was sung by Joe, but written by your very own Alvin Garrett. Source Nation, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Indie Soul Saturdays. I'm your host, Destine Hicks. Today I have in the studio with me Grammy-nominated songwriter and producer Alvin Garrett, as he has been sharing with us his journey into the music industry and how he is the R&B reverend. and all the great things that he has done. Oh my!
That thing was preaching a little bit too, wasn't it? It preaching.
Oh yeah!
My mama told me what a real man should be. She said, "Son, pick one."
Mama told me what a
treat her like me.
And Mama teaches you. Oh yeah.
That's right. Mama said, "Get you a good girl and treat her like me, baby." Said, "Boy, Mama saw me out here pimping like this, she'd be ashamed."
She would be ashamed of how you treat women.
She'd be ashamed if she saw all this pimping. I think the fellas like that. The fellas like that line too. They like, I love you.
Oh yeah, I think you sold them with that line. I think you sold them with that line.
Right. Hey, don't let Mama know I'm out here pimping like this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes. I'm telling you, all those songs just preach multiple sermons within themselves. Multiple ones within themselves.
That's my little imprint, and you. I was going to say, you know, how a lot of producers and vocal producers and writers, you can tell they wrote a song by the way the artist sounds. I've chosen to take a different approach and have sort of a formula, or shall I say, a flavor that I add to an artist where you may not know it's me, but if you really dig a little deep, you can find my DNA. And so it's sort of that, you know, not that all my songs contain that same element, but a lot of them do, where if you break it down, you'll be like, oh, man, that's saying something right there. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like doing things like that, the way you can really sit down and analyze a song and say, oh, I see the story. I see what you're trying to say to me. So, so yeah. But you were about to say something. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
Oh, no, you didn't cut me off at all. I just wanted to say that I know that you've shown some light to all the listeners today. I know that you left them with something. And if they didn't have a dream when they started on this show this afternoon, I know in the back of their mind somewhere they're digging like, oh, I wish I would have did what I said I was going to do whatever many years ago. And hopefully it's inspired something in them to go forward and to see that, you know, when you are called and you are, you know, destined for something, that you can achieve it, but it's not going to fall out of the sky. You have to work for it. And that was so unique what you said earlier. You said that you knew what you wanted to do, you knew what you wanted to be, and you knew that you had to put work in order for you to get there. And so
that's right.
I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for those encouraging words, because if you didn't inspire anyone else, you inspired me on this afternoon. And unfortunately, we are running out of time.
Well, can we do some public service announcements before we go?
Oh yes, we can. I'm about to give you that opportunity to do all of that.
Oh, okay.
But before I do get into you being able to share some more encouraging words with the listeners, I just want to again thank you for coming in the studio this afternoon and just showing and shining that wonderful bright light that you are. And I want to encourage you to keep on going and don't stop until you make it farther and farther and farther and farther. And I know that you will. And so now here's your time for you to give your opportunity to share your encouraging words and wrap it up with your public service announcements or whatever you like to say.
All right. I'd like to encourage everybody. Number one, please go follow me on social media. All of my, Facebook, social, Instagram, Twitter is the Alvin Garrett. That's THE Alvin Garrett, the Alvin Garrett, not that Alvin Garrett, the Alvin Garrett. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you get confused, go to alvingarrett.com. My website has links to all of my social media pages to learn more about me. Check out some other songs I've written for other artists. You may see something there that you didn't even know I wrote. But on a personal note, just continue to dream and believe and never put a box on your life based on what society says you can be, based on where you came from. You paint your picture, your future with your faith, and just get out and be willing to put in the work against all odds, and you can do anything. So continue to support me, and I'll continue to inspire you. And I thank you for the opportunity to come on and share with you and your listeners. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, Source Nation, I tell you, this was a great opportunity this afternoon to speak with such a legend. I'm going to call him a legend because you are a legend. You are the R&B Reverend. I like that. But Source Nation, that was yours truly, Alvin Garrett himself. He's doing such amazing things. Be sure to follow him on his social networks. Make sure you find him, and you be sure to visit his website at www.alvingarrett.com to keep up with all that he's doing. Source Nation, another amazing show with Indie Soul Saturdays. Thank you. We love you and hope to hear from you all and see you all on the air again. God bless.